Target Chairman and CEO Brian Cornell is with us now to discuss his diversity goals and how the company is responding to high inflation and consumer fears of recession. Brian, always good to have you in the studio. And bravo to you. Bravo to Houston White, number one, for bringing it to your attention. Bravo to you for sitting down and listening. Many CEOs give it lip service, but you certainly seem to put your money where your mouth is. This was important to you. Why?
Yeah, well, I've got to start with happy anniversary.
Yes,
this group's been having a lot of fun this morning.
Thank you.
I have this much fun every morning.
Yes,
we do.
kind of do. We do.
Much to the chagrin of our control room.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, it's great to be here to celebrate Houston White. And we're launching his collection as we speak across the country. But it's a great human connection story, Gayle. And I met him back in 2019. Houston had a barbershop in Minneapolis. And I actually had a meeting there with about 40 of our black team members from Minneapolis. And I spent some time just talking to them about business, about Target, about life, about sports. And then I had a chance to spend time with Houston afterwards. And he wanted to show me some of the plans he had in place. He had opened up this barbershop. He had plans to open up a coffee shop there, develop some housing adjacent to his barbershop. And then he started to show me his design plans for apparel. And what was really unique for me was I saw someone who had a dream, a plan, but was focused on execution. And coming out of the pandemic, we watched it come to life. And it's just great to see someone like Houston kind of put together such amazing plans and partner with a company like Target to bring his dreams to life.
You know, one of the things that Jamie mentioned in the piece, and you said, is you met with, your black employees, black officers at Target in the wake of George Floyd's murder. What was that like for you? Because I think, as Gayle pointed out, a lot of CEOs say that they want to increase diversity in their companies, but they very rarely ever interact with anybody who's not like them, because we all sometimes live in our bubble. What was that like for you?
Well, I'll step back. So early on in 2019, I actually spent time with a group of my black officers. We went to Atlanta together. And I've been doing these, what I call immersion trips, for 5 or 6 years now. Bring 8 or 10 leaders together. I travel with them for a day, introduce them to other CEOs, business leaders in the community, and we get to know each other. And in January of 2019, I went to Atlanta with a group of black officers. And when we finished up the session, they said, Brian, there are team members in Minneapolis that would love this experience. I said, well, let's set it up. And they said, would you go to this barbershop in Minneapolis, and we'll meet with about 40 team members there. So it was Houston's barbershop, but I had a chance to just spend time with my local black team members and just get to know them, understand some of the challenges they were facing, things that were on their mind, but just spend that time connecting. And for me, it actually prepared me for George Floyd's murder. Because the first thing I did coming out of that was recognize I had to connect with my black leaders. And I will always remember, Gayle, having a Zoom call right after George Floyd's murder and seeing a screen after screen after screen on this Zoom call of black leaders with tears in their eyes, talking about the challenges they had been facing and the tough conversations they had with family members, their kids. It was a very painful conversation.
Very painful.
But they helped inspire all of us to say, we've got to stand up and do more.
Well, there's nothing like a black barbershop to go and hear the truth.
That's true. And speaking of hearing the truth, I want to turn attention to the economy. There's a lot of fear of recession out there. You see indications of that, or you would anyway, as a retailer. People go to Target for low prices. Are you seeing indications that these fears of recession are not just fears, but we're going to get one?
I wish I could give you the answer, and I really can't right now. And I think we're sitting here in a very unique period of time. I go back to the last time we were together, which was 3 years ago. I mean, since then, we've faced a global pandemic. The U.S. economy was locked down. Many of us learned how to work from home and educate family from home. As we started to move through the pandemic, there was trillions of dollars of stimulus pumped into the economy and child care credits. And then earlier this year, as we're getting back to normal, starting to go out again, war in Europe, rising fuel prices, 40 years high for inflation. So right now, I think it's really hard to gauge the consumer. I can tell you how we're approaching it.
Well, you'll get another 3 years because Target just announced you're going to be CEO for another 3 years.
And I'll go ahead and announce I'll continue to be a customer for the next 4 years.
I appreciate
Brian Cornell,
that.
thank you very much.